It was just another day on the train. Every seat was taken. Luggage shifted and rattled above. The coach hummed with voices, low and constant, like the tide brushing a quiet shore. Near the window, a teenage boy sat alone. His face tilted towards the glass, his eyes darting with every passing scene. He laughed, a bright, clear sound that startled a sleeping pigeon near the station roof. His shoulders bounced slightly, and his fingers tapped the armrest in rhythm with the wheels. At one point he clapped, then again, the claps echoing briefly between the steel walls. He leaned forward and pressed his forehead to the glass, leaving behind a faint oval of breath. He pointed. His arms stretched eagerly, finger tracing something above, two clouds, one trailing the other like a dragon and its tail. He tracked them for a while, then pulled his hand back and rested it in his lap. He gasped, a quick inhale, and his chest rose, held, then sank. He turned to the fields beyond the tracks, where rows of mustard flowers blurred into yellow waves. A grin stretched across his face. It stayed there for a long time. He nodded slowly at a flock of birds that rose in sync from a telephone wire. His head moved with them until they curved out of sight. Then he turned back, eyes still wide. A cow stood on a small mound near a water pump, chewing with the patience of stone. The boy lifted his hand again. This time he waved, small, hesitant at first, then firmer, like greeting an old friend through fog. As the train crossed a narrow bridge, he shifted closer to the window. His palms framed the edge of the glass. He watched the water shimmer beneath, lips parted, the corners of his mouth lifting in silent awe. Every few moments, some part of him moved, hands, eyes, breath, as if the world outside was playing just for him, and he, in turn, was listening. His excitement was loud, unfiltered, almost childlike. People noticed. One man nudged another, "Bit old to be this silly, no?" A woman whispered, "Must be something wrong with him." Another chuckled, "Who acts like this over trees and birds?" But beside the boy sat his father. "Hi, kind eyes." He watched his son, not with embarrassment, but with deep warmth. He didn't say a word. He simply smiled every time the boy exclaimed. Eventually, one of the passengers walked over and asked, in a mix of irritation and concern, "Sir, is everything all right with your son?" The father paused, looked at the stranger, then said gently, "Yes. He's just seeing the world, for the first time in his life." The coach fell into a hush, as if the carriage itself had leaned in to watch. And then the father continued, more softly now. He was born blind. For 16 years, he saw nothing but darkness. Every evening, we'd sit by the window of our house and sometimes by the park nearby. I'd hold his hand and describe the world for him. I'd tell him how the sky turned pink when the sun went to sleep, how the moon followed us home like a shy guardian, how trees danced when the wind was happy. I became his eyes, and he, my reason to see beauty again. We made a world with words. He imagined it all, the markets, the rivers, the festivals, the fireworks. He would smile and say, "Papa, I can see it in my head." And then, just a week ago, doctors said they'd found a way, a new procedure, a rare chance. They took him to the city hospital the very next morning. He was gripping my hand all the way. Inside the sterile white of the surgery ward, machines blinked and hearts hoped. Outside, I was waiting for the surgery to be over, walking up and down the corridor in silence, my lips praying constantly. I had a crumpled photo of him in my pocket. Hours passed, and finally the doors opened. The surgery had worked. He opened his eyes, and light came in. The world came in. This is his first time seeing trees, clouds, sunlight, people, joy. Everything is new to him. Everything is precious. Every tree, every bird, every smile. It's like magic to him. This isn't noise or silliness. It's wonder. It's freedom. It's a dream coming true in real time. There was complete silence. No one looked at the boy with judgment anymore. Some turned their faces away, ashamed. One woman blinked back tears. The giggles were gone. The whispers stopped. Because in that moment, they realized they had judged a boy's wonder as foolishness. They had mistaken awe for oddness. They saw his joy, but not his journey. The boy, still by the window, turned to his father. "Papa, is that mustard flowers? They're like sunshine growing out of the ground." His father smiled. "Yes, dear, that's the world. And it's all yours now." The train began to slow. Their station had arrived. The boy stood, still smiling, his eyes soaking in every color, every flicker of light. He clutched his father's hand, not because he needed help, but because that hand had once been his window to the world. They stepped off the train together. The boy's steps were quicker now. Not hurried, just free. So, friends, the next time we're quick to label someone, too loud, too quiet, too emotional, too different, let's pause. Because we don't know what they've lived through. The girl who laughs a little too hard? Maybe she's finally learned how to after years of silence. The man who talks to himself on the train? He might be fighting a mind that won't let him rest. The child who flinches at sudden sounds? Maybe home was never safe. The woman who always seems cheerful? You'd never guess the storm she hides behind that smile. The teenager who refuses to make eye contact? He may have grown up feeling invisible. And the one who celebrates loudly, dances freely, or speaks with tears in their eyes? They might just be learning how to live again. We see the moment, but not the miles. We witness the behavior, but not the backstory. Everyone's fighting a battle you can't see. And sometimes, joy isn't loud for attention. It's loud because it survived silence. So before we judge, let's soften. Let's listen. Let's make space. 'Cause sometimes, joy is just healing out loud.